Thank you guys for coming. We're going to talk about social media. So everyone take a moment to think about how much time you spend on a social media platform each day. Because this is very tailored to you. I'm going to share some statistics and some thoughts, but it all comes down to how it applies to you and how you take this information. Evan Asano from Social Media Today stated that teens now spend up to 9 hours a day on social platforms. It's a lot of time. That's time that could be spent studying, having fun, spending time with family. And even though we're not teens anymore, we've graduated a little bit, it just shows how much of the world is circled around social media. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because the whole world, there's so many people that are affected by this, and there's good, but there's also bad, and so it's important that we recognize the bad so that we can make the best decisions in our life. And I am calling for all of us to take a break from social media. And I'm not talking forever. I think maybe a week or 2 weeks just gives you the chance to rewire your brain and reset your priorities so that you can enjoy life to the fullest. And it's something that I have tried in preparation for this speech. I have taken that break from social media, and I was amazed by how much I learned from that experience about how attached I was to social media. I didn't realize that. So we're going to talk about specific things that will come when you take that break from social media. We're going to talk about how it will rewire your brain and reset muscle memory. We're going to talk about the increase in your time for productivity and fun, if that's how you choose to spend it, and how it can strengthen your relationships. So we'll talk more in depth about those. Resetting your muscle memory. When I think of muscle memory, I think of doing something without even thinking about it. You're so used to it. And when I took this break from social media, I was amazed at how many times I grabbed my phone and realized, what am I going to do with this? I don't have social media on here anymore. What's its purpose? And there were so many times throughout the day I just kept grabbing my phone, and then I was like, I don't even need this. And that's resetting our muscle memory. Because whether we know it or not, it's very easy to just get used to doing something, and social media can become that thing. Lulu Chang from Digital Trends said that according to the latest research, people in the US check their Facebook, Twitter, and other social media accounts a staggering 17 times a day, meaning at least once every waking hour, if not more. And that doesn't apply to everybody, but as a whole, people in the United States average, they check their phone 17 times a day. That's a lot of times. And so that made me think of my checking my phone for no reason. If you take away that social media, you get to rewire that brain and realize, what am I using my phone for? How am I spending my time? And you become more likely to spend your time in doing things that you want to do, things that you enjoy. And that brings us to the second topic, that you can increase your time for productivity and for fun. Tolk Gok from the International Journal of Research in Education and Science found that approximately 60% of responding students do not have enough time for reading books, newspapers, and so forth, doing exercise, and going to the gym. These students prefer to spend 3.5 hours on social media every day. And this is something that I think is a lot more specific to us in our lives now, because a lot of us are students. And so it's really easy to help ourselves to procrastinate our assignments, our study. And it's amazing how often we can think, oh, we just don't have time to study for that test. But if we prioritize our time and we do those things first, then social media kind of falls into its place. So taking that break from social media helps us to realize and to prioritize our time. I found myself in the past on social media and then realizing that I started looking at social media an hour before. I'm like, what have I been doing? Scrolling through this social media, wasting my time, when there's so much more to do in life and to enjoy. And think of what you can do to post on social media, I guess. Maybe that's even better. So a break from social media, you can build up a whole lot of adventure to post about. Stony Brooks from Computers in Human Behavior found that 59% of students are accessing social media in class, which increases their chance of experiencing drawbacks in the classroom. So right there with our students topic, think to yourselves, have you guys ever gotten on social media while in a classroom? because that takes away from our education. And let's talk about the last benefit is it can strengthen your relationship with people in your life. And I say it can because it's up to us, but I experienced it for myself when I took this break from social media. It was really good timing. It was when I was going on a trip to visit my family, and I took that break. I didn't have that social media, that distraction, and so I was there with everyone. I was able to talk with my mom and dad and my siblings, and we were able to do fun things. And at the same time, there were many times that I noticed a lot of people on their phone. It was like, okay guys, like put those away, let's do something fun. And so I've experienced that, and I've seen that the lack of participation with and communication that social media can bring. Amy Orban and Robin Dunbar studied the effect of social media on relationships, and I thought this was super interesting, and observed that when individuals share personal posts, that the receivers remain unknown, which brings a lack of reciprocation. And so that kind of makes sense. When people like post personal things, they're not getting the same emotional feedback that you would if you were sitting down face to face with someone that you cared about and sharing that personal thing with them. And so social media can make relationships struggle, really, because you think you're sharing it with everyone, but you don't know their response. You don't know that they care and that they love you. And so taking that break from social media, having one-on-one conversations really can invite the opportunity for you to deepen your relationships. And it helps you to put that energy that was in the phone now into those relationships and those people that are important in your lives. So social media has good benefits. It helps you to keep in touch with people who are far away and see grandbabies and your kids, whatever. It's a great thing, but we also have to recognize it for what it is as well, which is that it can hurt relationships and it can decrease our productivity. And it can make it can mess up our brain sometimes because we're so used to those habits. So rewiring your brain and resetting that muscle memory, increasing our time for productivity and fun, and strengthening our relationships are just some of the things that can come if you take a break from social media. And that is my call to you today. Take a break from social media. Even if it's just a day, if that's all you think you can do, do it. And I promise you will see a difference. So after I finish, I want you all to get out your phones and freeze your accounts for a couple days and just try it out, because no matter what the statistics say, you have to experience it for yourself and you have to test it. And I know that this can bring more positivity into your life, and help you to strengthen your relationships as it has mine, and I want to invite you to do that today. And thank you so much for listening.